The Indiana Pacers are falling apart at the seams against the New York Knicks as the Knicks have found out the key to beating the Indiana Pacers and they are panicked while a whole new narrative has begun about the New York Knicks and the entire team from the head coach to the 15th man, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're part of that 74% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, you guys have been killing it with the subs recently. Let's keep it up. We're trying to get to 16K before the season ends. It's a lofty goal, but I believe, so if you're enjoying the content, you're watching these videos, what are you doing, man? Make sure to subscribe. We got daily videos like this and many, many more videos as well. A lot of days we upload twice a day as well, so you can get all your Knicks news in one place and a bunch of good breakdowns. You'll know everything about the Knicks. You'll absolutely love it. But let's jump into the video. There's a lot to go over because the Indiana Pacers are falling apart, man. The Knicks, they beat the Pacers in Game 5, and now it's a 3-2 series. A series where when the Pacers were up 3-1, it felt like we were all writing the Knicks obituary because it just felt like they could not figure out the Indiana Pacers and their offense whatsoever. It just felt like it was a lost cause. However, that changed in Game 5, and since that happened, we've seen the Indiana Pacers completely fall apart into shambles. Now, we saw we saw Thomas Bryant and Miles Turner talking, where Miles Turner said, they're not calling anything for us, and Thomas Bryant said, they're not calling anything for us, but we gotta get some stops down here. Get some stops. They're falling apart. They're screaming at each other because they're losing this game, and they could not get their offense going. When the Indiana Pacers cannot get their offense going, we see the whole New York Knicks team take them over and watch as they completely start to panic. The Knicks changed up their schemes. They changed up a lot ahead of this Game 5, and it all worked perfectly to the point where now Knicks fans look at this series and think, why can't we win? Why can't we win the next two games? Why can't we go into Indiana and win that? Tyrese Halliburton was smiling after the win because he's not original at all and decided to just do exactly what Shea did after they lost that game. But, well, Halliburton was smiling, smirking, saying we'll see him in Game 6. But, hey, I know it's the toughest game for the Knicks in this series. I understand that. It's not lost me that the Pacers are going to try to come out super aggressive because when they've done that, it's worked. But the Knicks have changed up their schemes, and you know the Pacers are going to try to counteract it, but it's a matter of the Knicks knowing that as well. And they're just going to have to continue to try to counter what the Pacers are going to try to counter. It's a chess game here, and the Knicks, they won that last battle, so they have to continue to go out here and still figure out what the Pacers are going to do. The Knicks changed up their schemes in a lot of ways, and it showed to work very effectively, specifically in regards to guarding Tyrese Halliburton, where now the Knicks are way more elevated on those screens. They're pressing up on him, and they're able to do that because this bench unit is getting their minutes now. The key in at the bottom right of this photo, what we see is DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet, two guys who stepped up in massive ways, giving the Knicks huge minutes to the point where the Indiana Pacers, they were not able to outrun a Knicks team because the Knicks were getting out and contesting shots because they weren't all playing 40-some-odd minutes a night. We saw every single Indiana Pacer have a minus, plus minus this game. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, every time he was on the floor, he was negative. Andrew Nembhard was +1 at the very end of the game. Aaron Nesmith, the man who's been dominating the Knicks and has been the X factor, has been terrible in those games that he stepped in on. He also didn't play a ton of minutes. He clearly is on that hurt ankle. We will have an update on all the Knicks injuries coming out either tomorrow morning or later today, so stay tuned for that as well, because we do have a great video on that you do not want to miss. It'll give you all the updates ahead of that Game 6, the biggest game the Knicks have played in 25 years. Miles Turner was mostly negative. Pascal Siakam was the only one who was really super effective out there for the Pacers. He was great for them, and on he was -1, off they were -16, so he had a positive net rating of 15. But you look at Halliburton, had a -29 net rating. Nembhard had a -33. Nesmith had a -23. Turner had a -23. The New York Knicks have, for the first time, outdueled their starting lineup in the Indiana Pacers. And the Pacers, they were panicked. Only one guy in Siakam had double figures in that starting lineup. Only three guys on the team did. Obi Toppin went 4 for 10 and had 11 points, didn't hit a single three. And then Benedict Mathurin did play an awesome game where he played super effectively. Went 6 for 10, 2 for 4 from 3, 9 for 9 from the free throw line as well, drawing fouls and doing everything he could to help this team. Now, the Pacers used a lot of bodies, and it did work for the most part. They saw some success here and there from everyone, but not enough to where it really was going to matter because the New York Knicks had them completely locked down. They had them figured out. They saw what they were doing. The Knicks made it into a half-court game, and the Pacers were lost. Meanwhile, the Knicks, they thrived in this half-court game where we saw not a 7 and 8. We saw not even a 9. We saw a 10-man rotation from the Knicks. We saw Precious Achiuwa take 6 minutes out there. We saw Deuce McBride step out there and play well. We saw Josh Hart come off the bench and play 34 minutes. We saw the whole starting five of Mikal, OG, Cat, Mitch, Brunson. We saw Landry Shamet play an incredible 14 minutes of basketball. Where he went 2 for 3, had 5 points, but the impact was so much more than that. We saw DeLon Wright go 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from 3, and still have such a positive impact on that court. Getting 3 assists, getting a steal. And those guys were absolutely huge for the New York Knicks. And they spoke on it. I mean, with Landry Shamet saying, I love New York. I love these fans. I've seen how they ride the wave with us, the highs, the lows. It's just important for me to give everything I've got to them. And at the same time, DeLon Wright said, I like to fly around, go after the ball, be a free safety. Once I get into the passing lanes, helps me speed up the game. My teammates feed off it. Use my IQ, deflections, their high-paced offense. I tried to do something to disrupt it, and it worked beautifully for the Knicks. I mean, Tommy Beer mentioned the Knicks are now just allowing 94.5 points per 100 possessions in the 37 minutes that Landry Shamet has played over the past 3 games. That number balloons to 116.4 points per 100 possessions when he was on the bench. So clearly, Landry Shamet being in there is a huge impact. And on top of that, Beer also mentions that the Pacers have played 16 games this postseason, and when they have scored more than 110 points, they are perfect, 11-0. And when they have scored fewer than 105, they are 0-5. So if the Knicks slow the game down and make it a half-court game, the Pacers don't know how to score. Meanwhile, the Knicks do know how to score in that half-court offense because Tom Thibodeau coaches that half-court offense. And on top of that, Jalen Brunson has thrived in it. So we've seen it work beautifully for this Knicks team. While the Pacers, they've been unable to figure out how to play a half-court style because they played this with such a fast pace that banks on you responding in fast pace, missing shots, them leaking out, and continually doing it. The Knicks didn't let that happen. They slowed the game down. They prevented a lot of transition. They made sure on defense to wall up and press up on the Pacers to start eating into that shot clock early. Something the Pacers did to the Knicks, and it worked. The Knicks have done this super well in Game 5, and they're going to go back to it in Game 6, or they're stupid. And if they don't go back to it, they'll lose, and that'll absolutely suck. It's evidently clear that the Knicks are going to have to play Landry Shamet more minutes. That's been made super clear by Knicks fans as well, who were chanting Landry Shamet at the game. I mean, they literally were they're just giving the Landry Shamet name. So, I mean, you look at that and you just realize how insane it is. And the defense from Shamet was great. The defense from the bench was great. But Shamet was the one who really took a bunch of Knicks fans' hearts in this game because he was getting up and he was getting stops. People don't think of Landry Shamet as a defender. You also see that DeLon Wright was getting in those passing lanes. We saw Shamet do his thing, hit that 3, but he didn't really shoot a whole lot. It was the defense for him. He was staying in front of everyone. He made that a point. Don't let them pass you because the Pacers want their guys to pass you so they could drive and kick. We saw OG getting on that help defense at times as well. We're seeing OG play more of a help defensive role instead of a point of attack stopper. Landry Shamet going out there, fighting through screens and getting rewarded for fighting through screens. See him create his own shot right there. Obviously, he's got that offensive ability. But look, everywhere he is, it's always keep him in front of you. Don't let them get behind you. The only time he didn't do that was with Miles Turner because he knew that he had to pick off the pass, get a stop. And then right here, he forces TJ McConnell to pick up the ball where Shamet hits it off McConnell's leg. He was phenomenal defensively. He embodied what the Knicks had to do defensively. Mikal Bridges did the same thing to Tyrese Haliburton, and it worked. We saw DeLon Wright and Deuce McBride do it to Haliburton, and it worked better because they're even better at guarding Haliburton than Bridges is. But Bridges, when he's playing 34 minutes a night, can totally guard Tyrese Haliburton. We saw all the Knicks contesting more shots. Why? Because they weren't playing 40 minutes. The Knicks changed up their style, and it worked. They've changed the narrative of this series. We've seen their secret weapons, their bench, come out and work. And on top of that, we've seen the Indiana Pacers now get flummoxed by all of this. And it's wonderful. I mean, Pascal Siakam was asked by Greg Doyle of the Indiana Star when Siakam said they played harder. He said, how's that possible? And Siakam said, they played harder. It happens. Doyle said in game 5, and Siakam said, you good, bro? I told you. What else do you want me to tell you? And Doyle said, I want you to tell me how. Or Pascal said, you tell me. Who is this guy? So Siakam was getting upset out there. You love to see it. This is what this Knicks team does when they use their bench. They disrupt teams. And as Tommy Beer also mentioned, in the 3 games the Pacers have won the series, Haliburton's averaging 25.7, 12 assists, and then 8 rebounds. In the games they've lost, he's averaged 14 points, 6.5 assists, and 3 rebounds. The Knicks extending that pressure made Haliburton uncomfortable. They played physical with him, and it worked. They have to go back to it, and I'm willing to bet that they do. But what do you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for an update on injuries and a few other stuff ahead of Game 5. We'll probably have 2 more videos come out before Game 5, maybe 1. We also have a live stream at 6 p.m. you do not want to miss. We'll go over a bunch of stuff there through the series as well, what it takes for the Knicks to win, and just any questions that you guys have. Make sure to ask them in that live stream, and we will answer all of them. Guys, that live stream will be from 6 to 7. Thank you so much for the continued support. Let's get to 16K, and more importantly, let's go Knicks. Let's win these next 2 games. I believe!